a bill being proposed in a Senate Hearing Room 1 at 11:30 a.m. I believe this Wednesday. Next Wednesday, Senate Energy, Agriculture, and Natural Resources Committee will be meeting at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Hearing Room 1. So I'd highly recommend people, if they can, show up. If you are a pet owner, for sure. If you had pets that have dealt with sarcomas, brain tumors, brain inflammation, mental health problems, that dogs can be injured by vaccination, specifically rabies vaccine, and others, especially those containing aluminum adjuvants, which are used in human vaccines. We know this for sure. Science is very, very clear in the pet population that pet cancers are definitely caused by vaccinations, one of which is sarcoma, osteosarcomas, and others. It's really sad because I will admit that I adopted a dog many years ago. This would be probably close to 8-9 years ago, from the pound, and as a requirement to be able to acquire that dog and take it home with me, I had to have it spayed, and Lola had to have vaccinations. So that dog, Lola, is dealing with osteosarcoma right now. So pray for my little dog, Lola, as she's pretty ill. She's pretty frail. I just get to love on her each and every night, and that's what I am going to do until she does pass. But we are seeking natural means to help in healing, but she's been hit with a pretty aggressive form of osteosarcoma. So that is what I want to prevent in other dogs, okay? In this talk, I hope people will become aware that there is this bill, and the call to action is this, all right? The call to action is to actually reach out to the committee members and ask them to support SB 2539. Again, that's Senate Bill 2539. You need to contact your senators in Tennessee, not the House of Representatives currently, the senators, because it has to be passed there first, and everyone can message everyone on this committee. And what I say when I'm contacting a committee member, even if I'm not a constituent of theirs, because the first thing they're going to want to ask, or at least their staff member is going to want to ask, is are you a constituent of, let's say, the chairman, Senator Steve, or Senator Nicely, or Senator Pody, Senator Akbari, Gresham, Powers, Reeves, Robinson, Rose. So these senators on the House committee will be hearing this bill first and will have to vote on whether they would approve it or not. So the gist of the bill, and actually it's a very short one, I'll read parts of it here. A person may own or keep or harbor a dog 6 months of age or older that has not been vaccinated against rabies if a veterinarian licensed under Title 63, Part 12, Part 1, or Chapter 12, Part 1, has examined the dog and based on the veterinarian's professional judgment, has certified that the vaccination would endanger the dog's health because of medical considerations. So for medical exemptions for a rabies vaccine, your dog could get that if the veterinarian feels it is in the best interest of that pet or animal. Beyond that, they could also then be able to utilize a titer test, and this is one of the biggest ones that we want to push for. Obviously, the medical exemption would be awesome as well, but of course, when it comes down to it, typically a animal has to be, or even in humans, we have to be injured, our child has to be injured, our dog has to be injured, our cat has to be injured by the vaccination before they would basically be able to claim a medical exemption, which is sad. You have to do harm first before you can protect. Really, really sad. But here we go. Titers test may be administered to assist in determining the need for vaccination. Owner of a dog is responsible for keeping a valid rabies vaccination exemption certificate. Rabies vaccination exemption certificate would last about a year. But the titer testing would be specific that you could run a titer test, and if the titers come back positive within the allowable amounts for what they consider immune to rabies or other, and I think rabies specifically, they're going to be doing an amendment, I believe, and it hasn't come out yet, to the titer testing. So You can do a titer test and you can say that, yes, my dog or my cat, my animal is immune to this, because that's how they judge vaccine effectiveness, is by titer testing. They do a titer test in studies and they say, look, it created titers, therefore it created an immune response, therefore the vaccine works. Remember that. Because what's sad is, from what I understand, is there's a Tennessee Association of Veterinarians who are lobbying against, they are against this bill to allow for titer testing, to be able to exempt or say that a dog or cat does not need a vaccine. That's ridiculous that they're saying, no, we don't want you to not mandate every year your dog get a vaccine. That's literally what they're doing. They want money then. It's all about the money. It's not about the research. It's not about the science. It's not about how they judge vaccine effectiveness, because they say, we just need, vaccines are what give you immunity, so you just need to keep getting vaccinated in your dogs. So right there you show the skin and color and the heart of these veterinarians, sadly, here in Tennessee. They don't want to utilize what science says is the way to say whether a vaccine is effective or not, to say whether a dog or cat would need repetitive vaccinations. So to me, it spells, corruption right there. So we need people in masses here in Tennessee to, again, contact your committee members. So this would be, again, committee members. It is the Senate Energy, Agriculture, and Natural Resources Committee. They'll be hearing this 11:30 on Wednesday, all right? So if you can show up in person, awesome. If you cannot, definitely call right away and call every single committee member. You don't need to be a constituent, because the committee members, it's better if you are a constituent of theirs, and if you are, within the region in Tennessee, then definitely let them know that. But if you're not, you let them know. I'm calling specifically because their vote will ultimately impact me in the care for my pet. So their votes impact us. So in essence, they're representing me as well, even though I'm not a constituent of theirs. Even though they would want to know that, because then if you're not a constituent, it really doesn't matter in voting. So they don't really want to care about listening to you that much if you're not someone who could vote for them or against them. So they're going to listen to you more if you're willing and able to vote for them. So that being said, there's all of them. Now we put out, and we will link to this video on Facebook, the Tennessee Coalition for Vaccine Choice. That coalition has been working on some of these bills and getting the word out. So please contact your committee members, these committee members. So beyond that, I did want to talk about the fact that when you look at rabies vaccinations, you look back through it was July 30th, 2018, Fierce Pharma, Fierce Vaccine. Systemic data fabrication, Chinese police seek to arrest 18 in vaccine scandal. I'm going to read you this article. I'm going to sum it up for you, but we will link it for you as well. Amid a public outcry over vaccine safety and effectiveness, Chinese officials and law enforcement are pressing fast ahead with their investigators. They found that systemic data fabrication and doctor surveillance tapes at one of the largest vaccine makers in China. They look to arrest 18 people. I don't know what happened since then necessarily. Maybe somebody could do the research into this this scandal. So I had to ignore call, potential spam. But it was in regards to rabies vaccinations. They wanted to lower production costs, improve success rate of the vaccine production, quote unquote. And what they did, the company used expired materials and forged production date. They then moved to the mandatory mouse. They moved the mandatory mouse testing to show effectiveness and potency of the vaccine. They used to determine rabies potency in the final product upstream with the raw materials phase rather than the actual finished product. To cover it up, the company systematically fabricated production and testing records, as well as mice purchase invoices. The company doctored surveillance tapes and computer data. Local police have retrieved 60 computer hard drives that the company had meant to destroy. So it was in plan to destroy their fraud and their lying. You know, what's somebody actually was posting here recently, a friend of mine, Andre Angelitino, and I've seen some other people, I guess I could call him professor, James Lyon Weiler, he was a professor there for a while, about the new law. Court in the U.S. actually is now going to require the pharmaceutical industry to actually abide by the laws that are there to mandate that they actually produce hidden data. They can't keep secret research data. They have to publish it all open data, which there's actually already supposed to be laws for that, but yet we need more laws to force them to do and follow the laws that are already there. And of course, if they want to keep things secret, obviously they're lying about something. But people were all excited about this. But here you have a vaccine manufacturer basically fraudulently doing everything they possibly can to hide their lies. From the surveillance tapes in their facility, fabricating those. I mean, they're willing to go to any end to make money and keep on with their corruption, whether it be with human vaccines like the MMR vaccine and its fraud and Merck's fraud and lying about the efficacy of that vaccine that's been in court for over a decade and now going to finalizing that court or that lawsuit, and actually they're going to hide the results of that lawsuit from the public eye, the people who've actually been harmed. But money will be given to the whistleblowers and it'll be settled in secret so that people don't know that their children have been used for profit rather than Merck actually doing what's right and protecting children. So they're going to lie, and they're going to, they're just going to data fabricate. They're going to take their data, they're going to fabricate it, and they're going to post it on our government websites. They're still just going to find another way to lie. Right now, they can do it pretty simply by just keeping the data to themselves and rather than publishing it online for everybody to see. And they just say, yes, my vaccine worked. Yes, my drug worked and it was safe. But you want the data? No, we're not going to let you have the data. That's what they're doing now. Now they're going to have to publish the data. And we expect liars to actually be honest with telling us what they found in their research study. They're just going to fabricate it all, just like this vaccine manufacturer did in China. Again, this is specific to the rabies vaccine because the call to action is for everyone to ask your committee members here in Tennessee to vote yes or support, I go back to the number, SB 2539. Senate Bill 2539, okay? So, back to this rabies scandal. Listen to this. The scandal was erupted into a public uproar over vaccine safety and efficacy. So there's a public uproar because pet vaccinations were actually not working, and they don't work in the first place because your pet can still get rabies despite getting the rabies vaccine. But here's the reality. There was a public uproar because there is a fraudulently producing a rabies vaccine, this company, and there's public uproar. But yet here in the United States, you tell somebody that the MMR vaccine was brought to market fraudulently, specifically the mumps portion, and you can show them the court documents. I've even shown our Tennessee legislators this. And guess what they say? Oh, well, I'll look into this. And nothing happens. Hey, Mark Green, get off your butt and actually do something that's actually going to matter instead of promoting a coronavirus vaccine. You know what? All you other Congress members, get off your rear ends and make sure that the information that was in the court system in the Chatham versus Merck court case, do what's right for your constituents and the people of this nation, the children of this nation. If we are being lied to, we have a right to know how we were lied to and what was done. And we deserve a slice of that financial pie that these whistleblowers, Merck's own scientists, are going to get money during this court case. But supposedly the court is allowing for the information to be hidden from the people who actually suffered because of this crime. That is ridiculous. Get off your rear ends, politicians, and do something for the people of this nation, not protecting the identity of fraudsters and criminals like Merck. Or protecting, not necessarily, you're not protecting their identity because we know who the liars are. We know pharma and the vaccine manufacturers lie. We know that. At least some of us, like myself, know that. But I'll tell you, every parent deserves to know that they were lied to and a criminal action was taken against them to make money and harm their children, put their children at risk. Your constituents deserve that. You sitting back and playing politician and trying to make sure that you don't become an anti-vaxxer, labeled as an anti-vaxxer, so you sit there like a puppet and promote vaccines and say vaccines are safe and effective with your automatic email replies. You're not doing what we voted you in to Congress to do, which is serve the people and the children of this nation. I'm sick of it. All right, enough of the rant. But listen to this. So China is one of the top global vaccine manufacturers. This company right here not only lied about their rabies vaccine, get this, in November 2017, in fact, they knew the exact dosages to the number. 252,600 doses of the company's acellular pertussis, or DPT vaccine, DTaP vaccine, meant for children, were also found to be ineffective. The family who owns this manufacturing company, this vaccine manufacturing company, is the 371st richest family in the world in 2016, according to China's rich list. Forbes China's, maybe it was China's rich list, not the entire world. Forbes 2016 China rich list with over $1 billion in wealth. So these fraudsters, these criminals who own this vaccine manufacturing plant and company, they lied about the effectiveness of DTaP vaccines going to children, which is ironic because the vaccine doesn't work in the first place. It doesn't protect children against whooping cough. And in fact, studies have shown, here's the reality. Studies have shown that you can be vaccinated, super vaccinated. In fact, they had case studies, and I've talked about this on tetanus vaccines in the past. It's on my website, thewilddoc.com, if you want to learn more about tetanus vaccines and how you're more likely to die and have severe tetanus if you're vaccinated than unvaccinated. According to the CDC's and the research available to us, the studies show that the risk of suffering tetanus, all right, and death is higher in those who are vaccinated. I break down the numbers according to the CDC's own data. And in fact, people who are there for the tetanus immunoglobulin, which is basically immune components and immune cells taken from hyper-vaccinated or repetitively vaccinated individuals who donate their blood to create the tetanus immunoglobulin that would be administered after you come in contact with tetanus. Well, guess what? One of their hyper-vaccinated individuals who has completely normal and high titers against tetanus got tetanus and may have died from tetanus. They just didn't report on whether they died or not. See, folks, vaccines don't work for what you want to achieve, which is actually being healthy and not coming down with the illness and not actually dying and having a severe response to the illness. They don't prevent those severe responses or deaths. So, again, they lie about the rabies vaccine, they lie about the tetanus vaccine or the DTP vaccine, DTaP vaccine, and they're also the country's largest chickenpox vaccine supplier. So they lied about the other two vaccines. I don't know if they create or manufacture more than just these three, chickenpox, DTaP, and rabies, but they're the largest provider of the chickenpox vaccine. The second largest country's second largest chickenpox vaccine manufacturer. And they lied about two other vaccines. So they're probably lying about a bunch of others too, or at least one or two others, right? So here's the reality. Call to action again is going to be ask our Senate committee, the Senate Energy, Agriculture, and Natural Resources Committee to vote yes or be in favor of. Members, meanwhile, please email the members of the committee and ask them to support SB 2539. Again, we gave a link to the Tennessee Coalition Vaccine Choice, Tennessee Coalition for Vaccine Choice, their call to action. We will link there as well. They're all liars. I agree there, Renee. Watch The Truth About Pet Cancer by Ty Bollinger. That is one I haven't watched yet, and I do want to watch, actually. She says, Renee says, my holistic vet said that only true way to test a dog for rabies is to perform a brain autopsy. 99% of them show no rabies in non-vaccinated dogs at Michigan State University. So they wouldn't actually be protected. Wow. Yes, also join in following Dr. John Robb of protectthepets.com. Yes, I believe he's support of this bill and he's helping with this bill. So Dr. John Robb of protectthepets.com. Go and check him out and support him as well. Should a house dog have rabies at all? Rabies vaccine at all? My opinion is no. My opinion is no, but I can't give you a recommendation one way or the other whether you should vaccinate your dog or not. I can't do that. I would be practicing outside my license if I said and recommended one way or the other. But honestly, I am completely against all vaccines, period. That's me personally, my family, my pets. So, rabies vaccine is a joke. Dogs rarely have rabies anymore. I agree. Awesome. So I think I took care of most comments or questions. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Please share the truth, share this call to action, and take time to contact every single one of these committee members. Again, Tennessee Coalition for Vaccine Choice made it very, very simple because this is in a House subcommittee right now. It's a Senate committee right now. Just ask all of these committee members, whether you're a constituent or not, to support this bill. And what I tell people actually is I'd even call if you were out of state and just say, I've thought about moving to Tennessee and I would be much more in favor of moving to Tennessee and moving my business to Tennessee. Whether you have a home business or self-employed especially, that would be a reason for them to say, you know what, maybe I'll support more business to Tennessee. It helps our economy. If I support them, they'll come hopefully locally and support me within the legislature. So you can contact me even if you're out of state, I would say. And just let them know that if you've ever thought about moving to Tennessee, that this bill, the passage of this bill would actually give one more check mark in the things that you would require in a state to move there with you and your family and your pets. So I will be committing to contacting each and every one of them, emailing as well as phone calls. So do both. Please, please, please call to action. Support SB 2539 and let's stop subjecting our animals, our pets, to over-vaccination, which over would be even more than one is over-vaccination in my opinion. But the over-vaccination enabling the titers to be ran before going ahead and getting revaccinated again and again. Yeah, right. It says, are you hinting for us to move? Possibly. Hey, it's a lot warmer down here. We're already getting warmer weather. Come on. So it was like 60s last weekend. So love you all. Appreciate you all. Share the truth and contact your committee members. All right. Take care.